Presentation 1. Pricing as an element of marketing mix by Karen Wagen Pastrana, Instructor 1 from the Institute of Management. Let us start our discussion with the definition of price. Price is the amount of money expected, required, or given in payment for something. It is also the value that is put to a product or service and is the result of complex sets of calculations, research, understanding, and risk-taking ability. And when we talk about a product or a service in a commercial exchange, price is given in return. It is also the value that firm captures in a mutually beneficial exchange with its customers. In marketing, pricing is the method used in determining the value a business will get in exchange of goods and or services it offers. The primary objective of every business is to earn profits, and it can only be realized through the pricing method used by the company. Now that we understand the definition of price as the value given in return or in exchange of goods and services, let us further discuss the essential role of price in commerce, which is sometimes disguised by the use of traditional terms. If the product in a commercial exchange is goods, then more likely that its value will be called price. However, if the product is a service, then the term price may well go by one of the other alternative terms used like tuition as a price when you are paying for a college course or education. When purchasing a place to live or use of equipment for a period of time, the alternative term for price is rent. On the other hand, interest is the alternative term for price when we are pertaining to the use of money as a privilege of borrowing, wherein there is a certain amount of monetary charge. When paying for professional services, for lawyers, for doctors, or consultants, the alternative term for price is fee or professional fee. When paying for an insurance or a policy as a financial protection against losses, the alternative term for price is premium. On the contrary, when a passenger took on transportation services through air, taxi, or bus, the money or the price that has to be paid is called fare. Toll is then used as an alternative term for price when paying for the use of road or bridge, or long distance phone rate. When paying for the work of managers or employees, the alternative term for price is salary. On the other hand, the alternative term for price when paying for the work of hourly workers is wages. Last but not the least, commission is the alternative term used for price when granting payment for every sales or deals that a salesperson has closed. Commercial exchange was already mentioned in our discussion earlier, and for this purpose, it is very important to understand the concept. Commercial exchange is where a seller provides a product to a buyer in return for something or in exchange for something, which is usually an amount of money. The product could be something tangible, which is referred to as a goods, or intangible, which is referred to as a service. The buyer could be a consumer or equivalent to a person who purchases goods and services for personal use. Or the buyer could be a business customer, also known as industrial customer, who purchases products or services to be used in the production of other products and or to resell it for other business purposes. Most of us think that marketing is synonymous with advertising or salesmanship, but the truth is, it is actually much broader. In other words, advertising is just a component of marketing. Marketing in this regard refers to activities a company undertakes to promote the buying or selling of a product or service. It includes activities such as advertising, selling, and delivering products to consumers or other businesses. Marketing consists of a full range of activities which involve the identification of customer needs and determining the best ways to meet those needs in a commercial exchange. And as we talk about marketing mix, it is defined as the set of actions or tactics that a company uses to promote its brand or product in the market. It is also considered as the foundation model for businesses. It is known as the four P's in marketing, centered around product, place, price, and promotion. The marketing mix is a key foundation on which most modern marketing strategies and business activities are based. Companies use marketing mix to identify some key factors for their business, including what product does the consumer want, how this product will reach the customers, how they are going to create a competitive advantage over its competitors, and how they will interact with the customers. The concept of the marketing mix came about in 1960s when Neil H. Broden, professor and academic, elaborated on James Colleton, who coined the term marketing mix in 1948, where he described the role of the marketing manager as a mixer of ingredients, which is the four P's. However, it is now widely accepted that Jerome McCarthy founded the concept, who offered the marketing mix as we know it today in the form of the four P's of marketing, which are the product, place, price, and promotion. Product refers to goods or services that a company offers to its customers, and price is the cost consumers pay for these products or services. Place refers to the point of sale, where a company makes decision in determining the location where they should sell the product or the service and how to deliver it to the market. And in order for the product or the service to be known by the end user, promotion activities are undertaken, which include advertising, word of mouth, press reports, incentives, commissions, and awards to the trade. The goal of promotion is to inform the consumers why they need to buy or avail the product or service and why they should pay a certain amount for it. When developing strategies to market manufactured goods, marketers usually address four basic strategic elements, which is again the four P's or product, place or distribution, price, and promotion or communication. The four P's of goods marketing was then discovered inadequate to deal with the issues arising from marketing services and have to be adopted an extended version of marketing mix or the seven P's introduced by two modern academics, Booms and Bittner in 1981. The seven P's are comprised of McCarthy's four original elements and extend to include additional three factors, which are physical environment, people, and processes. Physical environment, or also known as servicescape, needs to be engineered to create the right impression and facilitate effective service process delivery. The servicescape provides tangible evidence of a firm's image and service quality. People then play a very important role in products and services marketing. Many businesses require direct interaction between customers and marketers, which strongly influences how customers perceive the quality of products or services. The third and last additional factor in the extended marketing mix or seven P's is processes, which create and deliver the product elements. Very often, customers are involved in these processes as co-producers, and well-designed processes need to account for that. Let us now discuss the difference of pricing with the other piece of the four P's of the marketing mix. Take note that the term distribution is interchangeably used for place, and communication is interchangeably used for promotion. In the words of Philip Kotler, price is the marketing mix element that produces revenue. The others produce cost. That is the same reason why the three elements, the product, place or distribution, and promotion, are primarily concerned with creating value which add to a company's cost. And because of this, Pricing is said to be the only revenue generating element in the marketing mix, hence considered to be involved with capturing or harvesting the value created by the other types of marketing activities. As we might imagine, pricing practices has a very long story at the beginning of time. The oldest records of prices are clay tablets with pictographic symbols originated in a town known as Uruk in the ancient Sumer, which is now widely recognized as Iraq. In the earliest commercial exchanges, barter is the practice of exchange wherein goods or services were traded for other goods or services without using money. For example, the price that a farmer might pay for a bolt of cloth could be a bushel of corn. This practice still goes on today, especially in less developed countries. Published in the website of Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas is the history of Philippine money. Long before the Spaniards came to the Philippines, trade among the early Filipinos and with traders from neighboring lands like China, Java, Borneo, and Thailand was conducted through barter. The inconvenience of the barter system led to the adoption of a specific medium of exchange, the cowrie shells. Cowries produced in gold, jade, quartz, and wood became the most common and acceptable form of money through many centuries. This is also true for every countries around the globe. Even if barter is still in use, it can make exchange difficult. For example, what if the seller of the bolt of cloth had no need for the farmer's bushel of corn? Because of these inefficiencies of barter, almost all modern commercial transactions use a medium of exchange, something that is widely accepted as an intermediary instrument or system used to facilitate the buying and selling of goods and services. Now, what is this medium of exchange we are talking about? Its best example is the currency or the money that we pay a seller or an establishment when purchasing their product or availing their services. Remember that a medium of exchange could be anything that the buyers and sellers in a society agree upon. In the past, items such as cattle, seashells, dried cod, and tobacco have been used as a medium of exchange. However, many of these presented difficulties. And because of these difficulties in the barter system, while trying to guarantee fair exchanges, it became clear over time that the best medium of exchange is one that is finely divisible, such as the use of coins or notes, meaning it can be broken or divided into smaller amounts without losing its value. This led to the national systems of money such as dollars, yen, euros, or peso as we call it in the Philippines. Throughout most of history, prices were not fixed amounts displayed in stores or malls, or even in the advertisement of a product or service as we know it today. Hence, some pricing issues and various questions arise which needed a sort of pricing decisions. The three categories of pricing issues fall into the following: buyer-seller interactivity in determining prices, price structure, and price format. In a buyer-seller interactivity, prices were negotiated during an interaction between the buyer and the seller. For example, you as a customer arrive in the local market or the pamilihang bayan or simply the palengke to buy bitter gourd or ampalaya. For sure, your initial activity is to examine the quality of the bitter gourd. Then eventually, you will ask for its price. The seller will then give you the asking price, also called as the list price, which is the amount he or she wants you to pay for the bitter gourd. That sometimes depend on various factors such as the market conditions. Say for example, the price of ampalaya in the market at present time is 70 pesos, which is higher than the reservation price, also called as the lowest price, at which he or she would sell the ampalaya, say 55 pesos per kilo. After having such conversation with the seller, you found out that you only have 45 pesos in your wallet. You told the seller that you will buy the bitter gourd for 30 pesos as your initial offer, which is of course lower than the 45 pesos that you have or your reservation price as the highest price that you are willing to pay for the bitter gourd. This is now where the haggling process will occur, until such point when you and the seller will mutually arrive at a negotiated price, which of course is agreeable to both parties. Say 40 pesos of bitter gourd per kilo. As you can see, there is an overlap between the reservation price of the seller, which is 55 pesos per kilo, and your reservation price, which is 45 pesos per kilo. In this case, the price arrived at by you as the buyer and by the seller through negotiation or interactions of auction bidding is now what we refer to as an interactive price. Now we already know that a negotiated price during a buyer-seller interactivity is what we called as an interactive price. One of its strengths is making it easier for the seller to charge different prices for a certain product or service to different buyers. This practice of charging customers different prices for the same item is known as price segmentation. Numerous prices for an item are part of the pattern of the seller's prices. This pattern of an organization's prices are known as price structure. The price structure of a seller involves more than the array of prices that can be charged for the same item. Most organizations sell more than one product, and the pattern of prices across all these different products is another component of the organization's price structure. More often than not, various products are offered by an organization which are interrelated as such that a price charged to a product or a service should take into account for the other items they sell in the market. The third category of pricing issues involves how a price is expressed when it is communicated to potential customers. Aside from the quality of a product or a service, price is the main visual and cognitive motives we, as buyers, is looking into consideration before making a purchase. Pricing may come in round numbers or in decimal amounts, and this form of expression of a price is known as the price format. What then is the difference between the price format in round numbers and in decimal amounts? Prices in round numbers are a sign of accuracy and can be easily calculated, while prices in decimal amounts create a feeling that a product or service is offered in lower amounts, say 49.99 pesos, which is also equivalent to 50 pesos. This is also the same reason while prices in decimal amounts have 9 at the end, because it is considered to be a magical number in the business world. Moreover, when we talk about the price format, it involves the question of how many numbers are required to express an item's price. As we have previously discussed in the third slide, price may go by many names, except for one name, which is cost. In our subject MKM 124, pricing strategy, we will usually be taking the point of view of the seller. As a seller, price is considered to be the amount the business charges for its product or service. On the other hand, cost is typically what the business pays or the expense it incurred for producing the product or service. From the point of view of the buyers or consumers, price and cost are used synonymously. Hence, this will not be an issue. For example, a particular customer who bought a laptop could tell his or her friend that the price of this laptop is 52,000 pesos. Or he or she could tell that this laptop cost me 52,000 pesos. But since we are taking the viewpoint of the seller, we need to understand the difference between price and cost. Bear in mind that we should note that price is the amount a business charges its product or service, or simply, the amount the customer is going to pay for the product or service. On the contrary, cost is the expense incurred by the company in producing its products or services. This concludes the end of presentation 1. Up next is presentation 2, setting up initial price. Thank you. Keep safe and God bless.